The story of Standard Oil is not just a tale of business success. It's a pivotal chapter in the evolution of the American economy and the regulatory landscape that shapes it. In the early days, the American oil industry was like the Wild West, chaotic, competitive, and highly fragmented. John D. Rockefeller entered the oil business in 1863 by investing in a Cleveland refinery. By the time Standard Oil was incorporated in 1870, he had already shown a penchant for aggressive expansion and strategic foresight. His early involvement was marked by a keen understanding of the oil industry's volatility and the need for efficiency and control over production and distribution. Rockefeller's strategy focused on securing a competitive advantage through economies of scale and vertical integration. He believed that controlling every aspect of the oil production process, from drilling to refining to shipping, would not only reduce costs but also stabilize prices in a highly competitive market. This approach was revolutionary at the time and became a hallmark of Standard Oil's business model. Under Rockefeller's leadership, Standard Oil embarked on an aggressive expansion campaign. He employed a mix of tactics to acquire competitors, including outright purchase, the establishment of trusts, and the use of predatory pricing to force rivals out of business. Through a combination of smart negotiations, the company formed strategic alliances with railroads, securing rates much lower than the competition and impossible for them to obtain. Standard Oil expanded its empire, absorbing or destroying rivals in its path. Rockefeller's methods were often criticized as ruthless and unethical, but they were undeniably effective in consolidating Standard Oil's dominance in the industry. One of Rockefeller's most controversial strategies was the development of the trust system in 1882, which allowed him to manage his portfolio of companies under a single umbrella without owning them outright. This maneuver circumvented laws that limited the scale of corporate ownership across state lines, further entrenching Standard Oil's monopoly. Rockefeller's work wasn't solely focused on expansion and market control. He also prioritized operational efficiency and innovation. He invested in research and development to improve refining techniques, which not only enhanced the quality of kerosene, the primary product of the time, but also reduced waste. Under his guidance, Standard Oil introduced pipeline transportation, an innovation that drastically cut the cost and improved the safety of oil transport. However, it was the negative aspects of the company's activities that had a wide impact in society. Tales of ruthless business practices and the squeezing out of small operators led to a growing outcry against the concentration of power in the hands of Rockefeller and his company. The press and politicians painted Standard Oil as a greedy monopoly, a leviathan crushing the American dream of fair competition and entrepreneurship under its weight. The turning point in Standard Oil's story came with the passage of the Sherman Antitrust Act in 1890, a legislative response to the growing call for regulation to curb the power of monopolies. Yet, it wasn't until 2 decades later that this law would be decisively applied against Standard Oil. The company's legal battles culminated in the landmark 1911 Supreme Court decision, which ruled that Standard Oil had indeed violated antitrust laws by restricting trade and maintaining a monopoly. The court's order to dissolve Standard Oil into 34 independent companies reshaped the American oil industry and marked a turning point in U.S. antitrust enforcement. The aftermath of Standard Oil's breakup had far-reaching implications. The newly independent companies, including Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, and Amoco, would each go on to play significant roles in the development of the global oil industry. The saga of Standard Oil remains a key chapter in the story of how America navigates the delicate balance between fostering economic growth and ensuring a fair, competitive marketplace for all.